Okay, so the heart of the class, or the online class really, will be the lecture, videos, and the associated participation assignments. So we'll talk a bit about how those are going to work. So lecture is pre-recorded videos on YouTube. You can view them at your own pace whenever you want to watch them. Each lecture is broken up into multiple videos, so that way you can kind of watch them in bite size. It's not kind of all just one long hour-long video. They are hosted on YouTube. There's built-in closed captioning over there. I also recommend you download an ad blocker, even though I've done everything I can to not have ads on my videos. They do sometimes pop up. Additionally, there are PDFs of PowerPoints. It will mostly be narrated PowerPoints like this, what you're watching right now. And there will also be parts where there's handwritten work. So there'll be a camera of my handwriting, and there'll be scans of that handwritten work, as well as typed out work for any sort of solutions or any problems that are worked. While you're watching videos, there will be participation questions. So these will be within the videos. They're not in the PDF. So this is functionally a way to force you to watch the videos. There'll be a blue border around the slides. You'll see one here in a little bit. It'll be very apparent. This is equivalent to attendance, right? I want to see, are you watching the videos? I could have, I saw a suggestion one time that you should put in pictures your students have to describe, but I figured it'd be better for you to practice chemistry as opposed to telling me there's an iguana in the picture of an iguana in the video. So it's going to be part of your grade. It's just completion. Did you do it? And the reason why I want it to be this chemistry problems as opposed to pictures of iguanas is, one, you can get some immediate practice, right? You are going to do chemistry, do the topics that we're talking about. Also, you're not just going to sit there and watch videos. You're going to actively engage in learning. You're going to do it part of yourself. It's a part of teaching yourself, or kind of getting some practice of doing it, doing the chemistry, and it's highlighting important concepts. So things that make it have the topics that get participation questions about them tend to be things I want you to know how to do. So they're things that tend to show up on tests, quizzes, final exams, things like that. And this use of participation questions in this way really fits into kind of my overall view on teaching and learning in particular. This is how you learn on anything. In the context of class, I would talk about something in lecture, you learn how to do it, I evaluate you, you get feedback on how to improve. We want to move through this loop as much as possible. You getting feedback, practicing it, getting feedback, practicing it. So I could lecture on a topic, you could wait till right before the test to cram, you take the test while you're exhausted, I don't grade it for 2 weeks. That's not good, right? We need to go through this loop as fast as possible so that way you can do it again, right? Get that feedback, improve. So instead, we could look at something like, I lecture on a topic, I work an example for you, you do an example, you work a participation question, and then I explain the example. So with participations, there'll be maybe a day or two in terms of before you would do it, and then you could watch the video of my answers. But still, it's a lot faster than a month in the last one, especially because this class is going to be a month long. So we want to get through that iteration. That's also why we have additional practice in labs and in homework. So you're doing, you're working those participation questions. You're seeing me solve them. You're seeing the same topics covered on homework, getting that marked right or wrong, right? That's the idea of how you're going to learn, and seeing things again and again and making mistakes and learning from those. And the idea is these are escalating stakes. The participation assignments are just completion, right? Did you turn it in? Then the homeworks are graded, but you get multiple attempts at being right. And then the tests, you got to get right, right? So that's the idea. It's these increasing, you're seeing topics again and again and again with increasing stakes. You're making mistakes, which is normal and a part of it. The first time you see it, you're learning from those mistakes and not making them when it matters the most, i.e. taking a test. So this is what a participation assignment will look like. We don't have any participation assignments for this first set of videos because it's mostly course information, start of the day, start of class, so I want to make sure people are set up and in. So no assignments for this, but you do have an introduction activity. So it's in the main on Blackboard. We'll go take a look at it. But the blue frame is going to look like this. This is what it will look like. This is how you know participation assignments. I'll stop and read the question and stuff. But for now, instead of chemistry, you just got to talk about yourself. So hopefully you can do that and don't need too much feedback. But otherwise, yeah, let's go to Blackboard and see where the lectures are what it's gonna look like and what participations, how you're gonna go about submitting those assignments. Let's go over to Blackboard.
All right, so in Blackboard, all of our kind of course material, lecture material is always going to be in the folders. So there's the week 1 folder. Before we go in there, I do want to note there's a lecture slides folder. So you can always come back and reference the PDFs for anything. So the PowerPoint PDFs are all contained in here, and they will be for all of the class. They'll still stay up. They'll become visible. You can't see chapter 3 yet because it's in week 2, but the chapter 1 and 2 are available because they're in week 1, and they'll stay up throughout the semester. But for the videos, we go into week 1. We go into our lecture module 1. So you're watching these videos right now, so they don't have links. But if you scroll down, we'll look at the Tuesday lecture, so June 2nd. You'll note we have our hyperlinks to our videos, and then we have some associated resources. So first off, we've got the PowerPoints here. I've got the PowerPoints. It's the same PowerPoint in 2 different formats. This is slide format, so 1 slide per page, and then I have handout format, 3 slides per page. Historically or kind of traditionally, this is a printed form, and this could be like, following on a tablet. You can do whatever you want. You can use these, print them out, not touch them, whatever. Then for the examples, I have 3 different versions. One, I have a blank document. This is something you can kind of follow along with to work the examples as I'm doing them. So you can write out your answers, you can print them out, you can do it on a tablet. You can also just do it on your own paper, whatever you want to do. Just trying to make it easier for you to have that blank example handout. And then this is the examples with all the worked solutions that's in there. And then because this video is about unit conversions, there's some handwritten work, and this is scans of that. So this is just my handwriting. This is the video you will watch me write these solutions. And so you can see those scans as well. So those resources will always be available. There won't always be scans. You'll note there's no scan here because there's no handwritten work for these videos. So there's just the typed ones for the Monday set of videos because there are no scans. And so you'll see they will show up when they are available. Usually more number heavy chapters. Let's take a look. If we look at a video, let's watch this metric system video. So you'll see it's on YouTube. And if we click play, so it's just a narrated PowerPoint. You can see also narrated PowerPoint, and then it does cut into the handwritten work. So you can see my hands are just writing. Those are
still the base, and you can see when we're looking at these metrics.
Where is it here? See, you can see this is where there's that blue border around a PowerPoint. That's a participation question. So this is the second question for the assignment. And so you had to answer this. And I want to note, I'm only looking for the answers to the participation question. Not submit work. You just need the answers. They need to be relevant. You can't say like, yes. It would need to be, in this case, probably numbers in your answers. So that's the question. Where do you submit it? Well, if we go back to Blackboard, we're in lecture 6.2. Right beneath that, we can see participation 6.2. It's due June 2nd. And so participation 6.2. Create journal entry. Journal is just kind of the type of assignment within Blackboard. We click that. You have to give it a title. It doesn't matter what you call it. Participation 6.2. Voila. And then you can type your answer, right? Like, yes. Green, whatever. You can type your answers in this text box. You can also attach, so if you want to like do it on paper and upload a picture, or do it on like, if you have a tablet, write it, send screenshots, whatever. You can submit anything you want, whatever format works for you, and then you can click post, which is the same as save. Excuse me. You might realize, okay, I answered 2 questions. Whoops, I found more questions. You can't edit this, but you can just create another journal entry, and you can call it, again, just participation, and then, down or whatever, post entry. And if you realize, oh, whoops, there's another one, you can just keep posting, creating journal entries. I see them all in chronological order. It's very clear to me if you're making multiple posts, whatever it is. If you want to attach things, I can see it all. I can see everything you do. They're all time-stamped. I'll be able to see when you do these things. So that's how you submit your participation. I do want to note, we've got that participation. Let's see if I come back. Oh, week 1, lecture module 1. so we've submitted it after the due date, so after June 2nd at 11:59, so Tuesday at midnight, answers will pop up in between these two. So there'll be a video with the answers to participation 6-2. And so we're gonna have one of these participation assignments every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We didn't have it for the first Monday because it's the first day of class, but in the second week, we'll have a Monday participation. So every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, you should expect to have these. We have one day off for Juneteenth, it's Friday. But otherwise, every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll have a set of videos and associated participations. Again, you have to watch the videos. The questions are not in the PDFs. You have to watch the videos to find them. That's the whole point of this idea. And I encourage you to really try on them, because this is giving you opportunity to learn and to practice and to make mistakes with this material. So that way you can make the mistakes now and then, not make those mistakes when you're doing homework, when you're taking tests, or make other mistakes, right? You learn from this mistake, make the next mistake, learn from that, and keep building knowledge, right? That's how we learn. That's how we gain knowledge and gain understanding. If you have any questions about lecture or the participation assignments, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to continue on with the other types of assignments, how we're going to evaluate the information you learn in lecture.